Hey guys, Jacob here. It is currently the 21st of September 2021, and this is going to be this week's vendor reset. This week there's only Glory Days P416. If you guys do not have this, I'd recommend picking it up or farming loot allocations to find a better one, because at the same time, the named items I do sell at the vendors cost 15,000 credits, so if you don't want to spend that much money on one item, then you might want to farm for it. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case you guys want to pick any of this stuff up. They are selling max swap speed on this AR if you guys need that. But overall, nothing too crazy at the front desk vendor. But they are selling almost max headshot damage on backpacks if you guys need that or need any of these other items or talents, then I would recommend grabbing them. And if you take a right here and then go under the helipad or around the helipad, you guys will see the clan quarters. Shout out Disciples of Doom and Kamikaze Von Doom, and take a right here. You will see the clan vendor. This week he's selling the Richter and Kaiser Forge holster. This is for shield health. If you guys don't have this, recommend getting it or farm it in loot allocation areas to pick one up. Maybe you don't want the rolls on this one or want to find one that has something like skill haste or not repair skill, and you want to change the skill tier to something like a blue. You guys might want to do so. They're also selling max critical hit damage on rifles if you guys need that, and max magazine size for LMGs if you guys are looking for that as well. But overall, nothing too crazy at the clan vendor. The last item I'm going to point out is going to be the max critical hit damage if you guys need that for backpacks. And this piece overall in general is not too bad if you guys are looking for just a piece to pretty much be a placeholder. You guys could use this. I know a lot of you guys are just going to farm loot allocation areas to find a better one. But overall, if you do not have max critical hit damage, I would recommend grabbing this. But that's me about it for the base of ops vendors. Next location is going to be the Theater Settlement. This week they're selling the Baker's Dozen. If you guys don't have this, I'd recommend picking it up or farming loot allocation areas to find a better one. But if you are a new player, this is probably one of the main items you guys are going to be using a lot, especially if you're using a rifle. Because I think in general the Baker's Dozen or the M1A is probably the most used rifle in the Division 2 currently at the moment, unless they add something currently later on. I know the main two rifles I see in the game are the Ravenous and the Baker's Dozen. But other than that, that's all they're really selling at the Theater Settlement. But if you guys need any of these items, I would highly recommend picking them up. The next vendor is going to be over at the Campus Settlement. This week they're selling the Ekham's Long Stick Sniper Rifle. The stats on this are pretty low, but if you guys don't have this, recommend grabbing it, especially if you're trying to collect all the named items, that is. But if you have one better than this, then obviously it's not worth it, or you can farm loot allocation areas to find a better one. Overall, though, not really anything worth picking up, in my opinion, at the Campus Settlement, but if you guys need any of these items for some kind of build or stats, then I'd recommend it. Now we're going to be starting at the Dark Zones. First, we're going to be at DZ West. Keep this in mind if you guys are new to the game and want to know how to purchase stuff from these vendors. You'll have to go into the DZ and deconstruct gear you don't want to extract, and they will go into DZ resources. Then you can extract them and they'll go into your stash box, or you can open smaller boxes scattered around the DZ to get those items. But this week, they're selling the Rock and Roll, and the stats on this are pretty average. But if you guys are really looking for this weapon, then you could buy it. But you're going to be paying, a lot of optimization materials to optimize this out. And by then, you might find a better one. I'm going to scroll through a few more of these items if you guys need them. But other than that, that's going to be all they're really selling at DZ West. Next is going to be DZ South. This week they're selling the Invisible Hand. This is the only only gun in the game that still has a Allegro on it and gives you 12% rate of fire. So if you guys are a huge fan of the AUG, you may want to pick this up. But other than that, they aren't really selling anything too crazy at the DZ South vendor. But if you guys need any of this stuff, I would highly recommend picking it up. The one item I am actually going to point out is going to be this Sokolov Concern Vest. This one actually has weapon damage, critical hit chance, and health, and Obliterate, which is not that bad of a talent. I know a lot of you guys use Intimidate, but Obliterate might be, I think, one of the top used DPS talents in the game besides Glass Cannon. So if you guys want a Obliterate critical hit damage piece, then I would recommend grabbing this. Or if you guys want, you can just farm loot allocation areas. But overall, I know this is a piece a lot of you guys, at least people I know, have been looking for a while now. The final stop on the list is going to be DZ East. Well, final stop that is for Dark Zones. But this week, they are selling the Good Times. If you guys need this, I would recommend grabbing it or farm loot allocation areas to get this. But overall, nothing too crazy at the Dark Zones this week. But the two items I will point out at this vendor you guys may be able to use is going to be this Bellstone Armory mask that has critical hit damage, armor regen, and armor. And also the Foundry that has almost max armor. And if you guys want to change the health to something you need, you can max out this piece pretty easily, because you could have obviously one stat max, and since armor's almost max, you pretty much can just put a little optimization materials into this, and boom, you have a double stat holster. But other than that, that's going to be all the Dark Zones. Next stop will be New York City. The final vendors are going to be the ones in New York City. Keep this in mind, they do not sell any named items, but if you guys need any of this stuff, I would highly recommend picking it up. That's me about it for the front desk vendor. Now if you take a left and go through here and go through the green tent, you'll see Roy Benitez right here. And this week, he isn't really selling anything worth picking up either, but if you guys need any of this stuff, I would recommend grabbing it. I know some people have been wanting me just to have like top pick stuff and only pick the things that are really worth picking up, so the video's not very long. But I know some people want that and some people don't, but I tend to show every single item so you guys can see like, oh, maybe I want to pick that item, or if you see something you actually might be able to use and not realize it, you can go over here and pick it up, especially since there are a lot of new people playing this game, because I think the game went on sale for $17, but overall, that's pretty much going to be about it. Nothing really too crazy this week, unlike last week, which had some really good contractor gloves and a few other pieces that were somewhat usable, but that's really going to be about it. A few things I'm going to note at the end here: we did receive an update, which is really nice, and we actually have some things that were fixed, so maybe this is a sign that we're going to be getting new content very soon. Somewhere probably around December. I think that's when this season actually runs out, so maybe we will see the new stuff then. But I've not abandoned this game, and a lot of people have been asking me if I'm abandoning it, but I have not. But also keep an eye out. I am going to be releasing the update video finally after a while now. I've been telling you guys I'm going to be releasing it. You did see a little bit of a trailer of what I'm going to be covering on the channel in the future. But overall, that's about it. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in